Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. This has really been a gut punch to the community to see these two officers senselessly gunned down by a career criminal who we're finding out got out of custody 2 months early, never should have had a gun, never should have been on the streets at the time. What is your biggest takeaway for all of us today?
This is a reminder of the constant danger that our men and women in blue face. We are so grateful to the station for highlighting his incredible life. He was beloved among his fellow officers, but also the community he served, taken way, way too soon. We are hopeful that people will think of ways to honor him, whether it's donating blood, putting out a blue ribbon, or supporting today's donation drive. The Phoenix Police Foundation is making sure that if you donate, every dollar goes directly to his family, which you can't ever replace him. But he left behind a 5-month-old baby. That baby probably will not get a chance to remember Dad. And if anything we can do as a community is make sure that the family has what they need for education, for support, and just the real sense that the community is behind them financially.
Right. And at this point, we're still waiting for information on services. I think it was a real heartbreak to see the footage from the night of his passing with that solemn procession. His brothers and sisters lining from the hospital. There were community members putting out blue ribbons, everyone saluting, their hand on their heart when he was taken to the medical examiner's office. And it is just heartbreaking to see this, but it is part of the, I guess, the show of gratitude for our community. So if there's one silver lining in all this, Mayor Kate, is how this community comes together to overcome tragedy, right?
I hope that Officer Coolidge's family sees that the whole city is honoring his service and his sacrifice. I hope there'll be a chance that baby gets to grow up and know how much Dad meant to this whole city. It really was a powerful ceremony, but one we hope to never repeat again. Officer Coolidge was our 12th shooting of an officer, all by prohibited possessors this year, and it was not the first time an officer was shot this year over a carjacking.
It's crazy. When we talk about his wife and 5-month-old baby girl, have you had a chance to reach out or talk with his wife, his family, or any of his brothers and sisters behind the badge?
It seems like he is a guy who everyone he met felt a really positive impact. Mm-hmm. He was a training officer, and so both his squad and the officers he were training are just heartbroken. He's really a special member of this community and gone too young.
I know his surviving officer, his partner, Officer Matthew Haney, is recovering at home. Have you had contact with his family? I know at times over the years there's been some tension with the police department and the city, and maybe at times they haven't felt complete, full support from city leadership. What's your message to him and to the rest of the department today?
I think if you look around, this is a city that has said this is unacceptable. We have to do better for our officers. Officer Haney, again, will have a bullet in his body for his entire life, so that's an effect that will never go away. And from the events with the protecting the body to fundraisers to just the outpouring of support, I think the community has sent a very strong message of support.
That he's not alone. The recent DOJ report accuses Phoenix police of discrimination and unlawful use of force. This shooting is perhaps a counterpoint case. Officer Sullivan, or Chief Sullivan, mentioned, and you pinpointed today, that this is the 12th officer-involved shooting, and we know 11 of those times we were dealing with prohibited possessors who shouldn't have had a gun. Is the city fighting against the DOJ consent decree, and how far are you willing to go personally to make sure that a federal monitor doesn't come in and take over the day-to-day running of your police department?
We want the best department possible, so we read the report very seriously. We're going to be moving forward with some of the recommendations they made about enhanced data, more regular training in certain areas, some updates in policies. We want to learn as much as possible, but having looked at this process in other communities, it does not seem to be in the most effective way to help have the best department possible. So again, we want to learn and have every improvement possible, but we also want the safest city possible. So we're looking at what we can do locally to really protect the city without handing over the keys.
You're limited from city jurisdiction, but there are a lot of questions about what went wrong in the court process. Was it a county attorney? Was it something with Department of Corrections for him to be released, this suspect in this case, to be released early and out on the streets to gun down and kill one of your officers? What do you think needs to change?
We have to look at everything in this process to make sure we learn and we don't have it happen again. We understand that there was an existing mental health order, and it's a challenge we've had over and over again where there are people who clearly need more mental health support than they're getting in this community, where it's not a surprise that this individual was dangerous. So we have to look from the full process. Did the parole make sense, but also were we sending someone out with really very little chance of success?
Let's end on a message of hope. You said again, we're encouraging folks to give today. Thank you so much for being here and stressing and underscoring the importance of giving back to this officer's family. We have heard from a lot of you viewers asking how you can help. So open up your phone camera. If you're not familiar, hold it up to that QR code and then follow the link to make a safe and secure donation to the Phoenix Police Foundation. All proceeds go directly to this officer's family. We've also got the link on the homepage of our website, azfamily.com, with more stories and interviews and details on a barbecue fundraiser. Mayor, you're going to be there tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m.
I think we may get to see you as well, but more importantly, it's a chance for our officers to see the community come out, and you can offer words of support as well as financial support for a family that has had a huge loss. But again, if we want this family to not have to worry about anything financially, because they're never gonna have a chance for dad or husband to be at the dinner table again. So please, if you're able to donate, please do so. You can go online or attend in person.
Perfect. Mayor Kate, thank you for being here. We're going to have live coverage starting at 3 on 3 TV, continuing commitment throughout the day. April, it's so important